What's up, everybody? You're very welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that game. Welcome to the Anfield Agenda post-match reaction show. Good cop, bad cop. I'm your host, Craig. Today most certainly is good cop. I'm joined by my good friend Chris, one of our podcasters, one of the contributors, and of course one of the part of the Anfield Agenda family, to react to what was near on the perfect opening day for Liverpool Football Club. Chris, mate, how are you feeling after that game?
Absolutely made up with every aspect of that game. There was a bit of negativity towards centre back options, and having to bring Gomez in, and I know a lot of people wanted to see that centre off partnership, but there were plenty of people who were more worried about the fact that we were missing a few players. But Klopp started this season with this group of players for a reason. Regardless of who we left on the bench, who was out of the side, I think anybody who's on that pitch is worthy of being on that pitch, and I think today showed that. It was a superb performance from start to finish. It's exactly how we needed to start the season. 4 goals, could have been more as well. It's brilliant, it's good stuff. Front three look like they've kind of started where they left off last season as well, which is really encouraging, because there was a lot of questions of whether Salah could carry on where he left off, whether Firmino's going to... I think we all knew Firmino was going to carry on doing what Firmino does, and what kind of season we're going to see from Mane. Well, there's your answer straight away, first game. I think we can all be pretty proud of the boys, can't we, and happy with the way things are.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it any better, Chris. I'm looking through the chat, mate, and there's a lot of happy Reds. Sideman Rocks is in, Jason, Colin, Imran, Farrell, Armin, Louis. So many people in the chat already. Aaron, you're all delighted with the Reds' performance. So many people happy. Do you know what I seen today, Chris, which was brilliant when he came on? I've seen so much love for Shaqiri when he entered the field. Yeah.
He looks like he's becoming quite a popular figure amongst the players. It was when he was getting ready to come on as well. He looks so made up to be at the club, which is an amazing thing, because any question marks people had. Now, I'm not one of these people who had any question marks over him. I think he's a quality player. Whenever I've watched him, he looks like he puts a shift in. I don't know where all the bullshit comes from with regards to him being lazy and disinterested. I don't see that in him at all. But what a difference being at Liverpool makes to him, because he looks like he knows where he is. He knows why he's here. He knows that there's an element of luck that he's here. He looks like he wants to earn it, doesn't he? And in his performance and the look on his face, he just looks so happy. And that's got to be a major thing for him, and what we see as a player from him. So it's brilliant. Superb signing, just another one. He comes on and he does bits, doesn't he? In the final third, he makes some things happen. That's what we want to see from him. That's why we bought him. And I think if we'd have bought him for 30 plus million, that's what we'd want to see. We'd be happy. So and not just them as well. A couple of other players came off the bench, didn't they? Henderson, he came off Boston midfield, and obviously Daniel Sturridge does what Daniel Sturridge does best.
How funny was that, Chris? 15 seconds or something, he's banging it, you're not ready. Beautiful.
I was watching it there, I said he's going to score with his first touch. I just know he is, because it's such a Daniel Sturridge thing to do, isn't it? And guess what he did? I was expecting a more sort of classy finish from him or something, but a goal's a goal. He'll love that. He enjoyed it. And again, the players around him look pleased with it. Klopp looks pleased with it. I know he was about last season, for the first half of the season, but I think we had a shadow of Daniel Sturridge for the first half of last season. He's an actual full body this time around, isn't he? And I think he's going to make such a difference to us, along with Shaqiri. And you look at the players that weren't used as well today, like Lallana, Fabinho, and a few other players who weren't used or even weren't in the squad. It just goes to show how strong our options are right now, and it's going to be amazing for us that as a season, because those are things that we were missing last season. I think those were the only things we were really missing last season. So it's exciting stuff.
So many positives to take from today. I want to dip into the chat and say hello to a few people. Our very own Dave Henry is in. He said just to say a quick hello. He's away with the family, I believe, on a weekend away. Said the Reds were the bollocks today. Didn't even need to get out of second gear. A Liverpool fan has joined us again. Thank you, mate. Rod said the points are on him, guys, so if you can make your way over to Australia, Rod's shouting the points. Cameron is saying the bench looked great today, really strong. Junior has just come straight in with fuck United, which I'm always pleased to see, so why not? Dylan said, what's up, mate? Louis also saying fuck the Manx. Sturridge, hope he stays fit, from Imran Khan. Shaqiri causes havoc when he comes on, from Cameron. Junior said the subs were good today. Hendo was brought on at the right time to manage the game. Gary Richards is over the moon, says what a game. Naby will be our new darling, Craig, along with Brewster when he's fit. Chris, look, I just want to take a minute to have a little talk about the midfield in particular today.
Yeah.
Every single one of those three guys had a 10 out of 10 game for me. I thought they were immense. James Milner, brilliant. Naby Keita, what a debut. And Gini Wijnaldum, often a very underrated player for us, put in another great performance.
Well, you know what I think about Gini. He's such a clever player. He's got a brilliant football brain. And going into the end of last season, I thought he was perhaps our most consistent player. Sort of like the last, let's say, half a dozen to a dozen games. And he played a number of those games in the sixth role, which he played today. And yet again, just absolutely bossed it. Looked fantastic, both on and off the ball. There was a stat flashed up on Sky towards the end of the game, sort of like 2 minutes ago, so I don't know what the end stats were, but I can't imagine they'd be too much different. But Milner had played, I think it was 91 passes with a 94% pass accuracy. That's outstanding.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
It is. And he doesn't get an assist, I don't think, for the last goal, although because obviously it was a defensive header that found its way to Sturridge, but I'd be inclined to give him that, to be honest. I'd say he got 2 assists in that game, but he was brilliant. Again, he was everywhere, wasn't he? He was picking the ball up off the fullbacks, he was getting down the channels and getting the ball in, he was running beyond, obviously I don't need to tell you his passing's good. If you've got passing stats like that, no, it doesn't matter what you see by eye, those are pretty telling stats, aren't they? And Keita, what an exciting player he looks. He almost looks like one of the front three when he gets into the final third, and he also looks like one of the centre halves when he comes deep. He looks like one of the fullbacks when he goes. He's literally all over the place and equally adept at every facet of the game, and he's going to make a huge difference to us this season because he helps us to mould the midfield in a different way. You saw Klopp make a change in the second half that took where he took Firmino off, and we went to a midfield 4, and Keita went out onto the left, and he affected the game from the left. He's skinning players, coming inside, keeping the ball, overlapping or underlapping with Robertson. It was effortless to him. And I think earlier in the game as well, one of the commentators said it looked like, I think it might have been Redknapp actually, looks like he's been there for 8 years. And I think that's exactly right. He did. He looked like he's, and I think Shaqiri as well, when he comes on, he looks the same. I saw that in pre-season. All of the players look like they've been at the club a while, and the midfield's so strong in terms of numbers and quality. It really is. It's pretty exciting stuff. I keep saying that, don't I? But it is pretty true, isn't it? It is exciting.
Well, look, we'd waited the whole summer, Chris. We'd seen pre-season, we looked quite sharp. We'd only lost 1 game against Borussia Dortmund. We had high hopes going in. I know the guys in the chat were certainly in fine fettle going into the new season. We hoped the Reds hit the ground running. I predicted 4-0, which I very rarely get these things right, but I predicted that. I said Sadio Mane was going to score. I seen one comment here that caught my eye that said, where is it? He said, my dad said VVD was shit in the first half. I only joined the game after our first goal. I honestly don't know, Martin, what game your dad was watching there, if you thought Van Dijk was crap.
No, we had no defending to do, did we? I think Gomez and Van Dijk were going to have an easier game than that for a while, I don't think. Unless it's the way we perform and we just don't give teams opportunities to attack us. He's perhaps referring to that sliced clearance that shouldn't have come in. I don't know what minute was that on. I'm not too sure. I can't think of anything he did wrong. He kept the ball, kept it moving. Pretty much what you'd expect from a top class centre half, really, and a team that's keeping the ball so well. But to judge, I don't think anybody could judge him defensively too much in the game because we didn't really do a lot of defending, did we?
I thought the fullbacks were excellent, though, to be fair. They were looking to get forward at every opportunity, and I'm including both of them there. I thought they were brilliant. Trent, in the first half, he hadn't got his eye in, if we're being honest, with his crosses from the right.
His radar was off a little bit. He put a couple of good balls in, though, where nobody was in the box, and then when there were players in the box, he kind of hit them a little too deep, maybe a bit too quick, but he kept getting in the positions where he could make those crosses, if you know what I mean. So that was encouraging as well. Nobody, I don't think there's a fullback or anybody in the world who hits a cross perfectly 100% of the time and finds his man. So, a few are going to go awry, aren't they? And he's just getting better and better. You've got to allow him, little parts of his game to be off from time to time. But, next week he could put 3 crosses in against Palace, and Firmino could get on the end of all 3. You don't know, do you? But it's about him keep getting in those positions where he can affect the game and get those crosses in. That's the encouraging part. Whereas Robbo, the other side, he perhaps crosses a lot less now than he used to, but the quality of his crosses have improved, which is fantastic to see. He looks dangerous whenever he gets the ball down in that final third. So. It's really defensively you can't fault either of them. I think there was a moment towards the end of the game where it wasn't towards the end of the game, it was quite early in the first half where I think Robbo kind of started falling asleep a little bit. There was a chance he had to overlap and pick up a ball. I think it was from Mane, and he was kind of caught flat-footed. And then there was a moment shortly after that where VVD had to give him a bit of a rollicking for not closing down his man and a cross going in. That was the one where VVD gave the corner away with a slice clearance, by the way. But other than that, that's just nitpicky stuff. I think at that moment in time, the whole team went into a bit of a lull. Tempo dropped a bit. I think they felt the game was won. And I think that's perhaps why we saw Klopp make the changes to the system a little bit. Maybe the legs had gone. It's the first game. They've come off the back of a pretty full pre-season. We've played a lot of games, and I'm assuming Klopp has done what he normally does and absolutely piled into them with training. So, yeah, I think that's probably just that. I'm not going to knock any players. We've just won 4-0. So, you could, against a good West Ham side, let's say that's not a poor West Ham side. I think we just made them look poor, in fairness.
So we're about to see Arsenal play Arsenal play Manchester City here. What's your prediction on this one before we get back into the Liverpool game? Just about to kick off.
I'd always back City to win any game that they're playing in, but I do think Arsenal, attacking wise, can score goals against anybody. And the one position that I felt Manchester City were perhaps a little suspect in is defensively. Sort of between Fernandinho, the centre halves, and the goalkeeper. I think they can be got at, and I think Arsenal can get at them. So I'm expecting both teams to score. I would suggest Man City might just nick it though, perhaps maybe like 2-1, 3-2, something like that.
I'm going for Raheem Sterling to score in this game, by the way. I've put my money where my mouth is as well. I've just stuck 50 quid on him to score. So I've got to get back into the comments, see how the guys are feeling. And I must say, guys, if you're joining us, welcome. If it's your first time on the channel, you are most welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, guys, if you're enjoying the content. Give us a thumbs up, helps us get suggested to other Reds, pushes the channel out there and helps us grow. We picked up a tremendous amount of subscribers on the live stream, so thank you to everybody for that. But do please hit that subscribe button, join the channel here. I had lots of people saying, come on Arsenal. What else we got? Love the post-match piss up, says Rod. What result do you want to see Arsenal versus Manchester City game? Sivan asks. Obviously, I think we want to see Arsenal taking points off them anyway, Chris.
Well, I think you'd say that, but you can't. I think you discount Arsenal being a challenger at your peril, to be honest. I know I've said previously that I think they may struggle to attack the top 4 because they got Europa League football, but if they put Europa League to one side, they've got a good enough side, certainly good enough attack to amass a lot of points themselves. So I think a draw would be nice. I'd like to see a draw in this game, definitely.
I'd say there's goals in it, to be fair, by the looks of it there's going to be goals in it.
I'd say so. You do look good going forward again, Arsenal do, definitely.
So Liverpool fans said the ref was awful. Rod said Keita looked very intuitive today. Anyway, we're top of the league. Catch us if you can, says Martin. Come on, Arsenal, says Junior. What else have we got in the chat? I'm trying to catch up with the comments. There's so many. Is this Liverpool team as good as those of the 80s? Asks Gareth Phillip. It's too early to say, surely. Let's hope they can go on and make their own history. I think that's what we want to see here. We've every chance this season. Chris, who was your man of the match, buddy? I forgot to ask you that one.
Oh, God, it's a tough one. Really is a tough one. It depends how I'm measuring it. I think in terms of... I mean, obviously, Mane scored 2 goals, so there's an argument he could have it. Gini gave them absolutely nothing in midfield. There's an argument he could have it. In terms of a debut, Keita was fantastic. You could argue he could have it. But I think... Gomez playing... That's the first time Gomez has played centre-half alongside Van Dijk, isn't it? You know, there's an argument he could have it. But I think in terms of impacting all aspects of the game and just being an absolute boss, I think you've got to give it Milner.
Alou said, I'm so happy. It's early days, but this squad is awesome. Robertson, my God, what a player, says Brander. Biggest opening day win at Anfield since 1932, says Die Hard Reds. Tougher tests lie ahead, but that was an awesome start from Klopp's side. Killer for Hire said, Liverpool have a nice schedule for a few weeks. Could easily see us with 18 points after 6 games, mate. I hope so. Jesus Christ, I hope so. Cameron said, I like the fact we adapted our style during the game. We started playing through the flanks rather than attacking through the centre. Best of, I don't know, Keith is yet to come. I don't know what he means by that one. The most important component of any team is the manager, and Klopp is one of the best I've seen. Chris, if we were to look at, I don't like to talk negatives, but I thought Bobby Firmino just didn't look himself today, and that could be simply because he's just back from the World Cup. He hasn't got up to speed yet. Might be his new haircut as well, to be fair. I just didn't think he looked his usual razor sharp self.
I don't know. There was some quite neat touches, especially in the first half, where he was making space for himself. I think West Ham did quite well defensively in terms of getting a lot of bodies around the front three. And I think if you look at if you remove the goals from the game and look at the performance of the front three, they weren't exactly awe-inspiring. Our better football came from our full-backs and our midfield. And so I think had Firmino scored 2 and Mane not scored 2, we'd perhaps be looking at it and saying Mane wasn't that impressive, or if Salah hadn't got one. They did get bodies round us quite well, and I think we sometimes perhaps look at the performance based on whether they got goals. But he got an assist, didn't he? He was involved in some stuff. It was pretty tight the way they defended, because they did show him some attention. I think teams are starting to now see him as much of a threat as maybe Salah, and they realise how much goes through him now, and they do pay him a little special attention. And if that's the case, he's going to have to adapt a little bit, isn't he? I think in the second half, like many of the players, I think you did see his legs. He got, like you say, he's not been back too long, has he? It would be nice to see him getting back to his usual, running around at 90 minutes self. But no, I don't think he didn't set the world alight, but I don't think it was a poor performance by any means. Like I say, it wasn't a bad West Ham side. They've got some good players there. You could see it. The full-backs were very good. They didn't give too much away. It was more about our movement and how we played through midfield, which is something that we lacked last season, I think. There seems to be a bit more impetus in getting forward from midfield now, which got our goals.
Wrigley Mick said Mane looked awfully confused in the post-match with Sky when he had to hand the Man of the Match award over to Jimmy Milner.
I think that's fair, though, that Milner got it, to be honest. Mane didn't look particularly happy coming off whilst being on a hat-trick, which is sound. He shouldn't be. And even after the game, he didn't look particularly pleased, did he? I think, but that he's a hungry player, isn't he? He's a winner, and he wants to score goals, and that's a good thing. So maybe next week.
Do you know what? I said all pre-season, I think having that number 10 will give him a little bit of a psychological boost. It sounds silly, but I've noticed something in him. He looks ready for this season.
He can work with some players, but he had a chopped up season the season before last, didn't he, with AFCON? Last season was chopped up a little bit with a change in formation, a slight change in system, and also obviously he picked up an injury, but his numbers were still very good, weren't they? I'm expecting this season to be in the way that last season was about Salah. I think this season might be more about Mane. I could see him maybe not scoring the 40 plus goals that Salah did, and I do expect Salah to bag a hatful this season, but I'm also expecting Mane to kind of match that. I can see that happening. He is a quality player and he looks hungry, and again, I think if we are going to see this, I think we're perhaps going to see Firmino maybe not kick on in terms of numbers. So I think it'd be unfair to judge Firmino in terms of numbers. I think he's more of a catalyst for what we're going to see from Salah and Mane throughout the season.
Chris, I'm not going to keep you too long, buddy. I've got Connor lined up as well to jump on. I do appreciate you taking the time straight after the game to come on and have a chat with us. But you're going to be on tonight's Cop Council podcast as well. So as I was saying to the guys, lots and lots of content coming up.
It's all good fun, isn't it?
It's all good when the Reds are winning.
I was saying plenty to talk about as well, isn't there? Lots of, we've got an exciting time ahead of us, so the more we can talk about it, the better. Better for the listeners as well. Plenty of good positive things to listen to as well to keep them going. It's good.
Absolutely. Chris, look, I'm going to let you go, buddy. I'm going to get back into some of these comments, and I'll catch up with you tonight for the Cop Council podcast. I hope the family are well, mate, and thank you for joining us.
Very welcome. Thanks for having me. All right,
talk to you soon, buddy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Guys, it's just you and me. Connor is going to be joining us in a few minutes. Massive thank you to Chris for taking the time to come on there straight after the game and share his thoughts with us. The Revanite said, I agree with Craig. Bobby was a little slow, not really himself today. James said, got the whole team really gelling together by the time the so-called big teams come to us, which I think is a good shout, actually. I mean, it looks like we're sharp already. Kept thinking for get Firmino off and bring Sturridge on. Die Hard Red said Firmino still got an assist. Even Firmino, mate, not being up to himself was still a good performance. Don't get me wrong. I'm in no way slagging off Bobby. I love Bobby Firmino. Accent hurts, said the state are substantial. I've no idea what that means, mate. If you don't like my accent, then you're on the wrong channel, buddy, and you best go somewhere else, because you're going to get this Irish accent all the time. Never going to end. But look, thank you to everybody for joining us for this one. Please do hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying the stream. There's still plenty more to come from us on this. Connor is going to join us in a few minutes. As soon as he puts his penis away and stops his masturbation, which you know Connor is all about. It's all he ever does. When he's not on the streams here, he's always whacking one out. And I can say this because there's nothing you can do about it till he gets on the stream. And then he can get back at me. But I hope you enjoyed the game. I'm going to get through more of your comments now. Over the two halves, Mane was man of the match for Maverick. The first half Genie, second half Milner man of the match. Brander said Keita made some bad decisions today, but overall great performance. He couple of misplaced passes, I do agree, cutting inside a couple of times. Should have done a little bit better, so it's a fair point, Brander. But I thought the midfield generally today were awesome. It's very hard to pick any negatives out of that performance, and why would we want to be fair? It was an excellent opening day from the Reds. Perfect for Jurgen Klopp. Everybody got a run out. Shaqiri got his first minutes. Sturridge comes on in 87 and bangs one straight into the goal. Absolutely quality. I'm over the moon, guys. I'm over the moon. It's been a great opening day for Liverpool. Top of the league. Fingers crossed we stay there, but there is a very, very, very long way to go. Connor's just typing in egg there to try to get back at me, but it doesn't work, buddy. Doesn't work. I can see I've got the actual voice here. Until you come on, you can't say anything. What else have we got? Aliu said, I agree. 3 points to us, said Darren Calvin. For fuck's sake, we need to lay off Bobby. Relax, Maverick. Nobody's having a go at Bobby. Chill your beans, mate. It's all good. Nobody's having a go at Bobby. Not sure all this hyper criticism for criticism's sake. It's an opinion, mate. It's called having an opinion. We're allowed to have them. Raheem booked already, says Pepper Red. Yeah, it was a bit of a lunge, to be fair. Dirty Girl, you're joining us. Hello, welcome. Great to have you on. And welcome to the stream. I've got the Manchester City Arsenal game on in the background here. 8 minutes gone, still 0-0 for anybody that wants to know. Junior said Mane will step up this season big time, and Naby's link-up play is immense. Rod said he went to the ale house. Why not, Rod? Treat yourself, Rod. Have a point. Have one on us. That was one fucking red performance. Connor had better have, by the way, the competition results. Let me just message him to make sure that he has them before he comes on. We're going to announce the winners of the 5 shirts, as we spoke about earlier on. Let me just message Connor to make sure that he has those 5 winners. But rats have a purpose, said Pepper Red, whereas Raheem Sterling doesn't. What else have we got? Raptor and Craig, what's your midfield? It is a really tough question to say what's a midfield, because horses for courses, as I keep saying, depends who we're playing. Today he probably picked the best midfield that was available to him, and I thought everybody did their job amazing. So guys, Connor is just getting the winners of those 5 shirts ready. So best of luck to everybody. We're going to be announcing those winners very soon. And as we said, whoever wins the shirts, they will be sent to you. We'll get your size and all that information. Nothing to cover at your end. Postage and everything will be covered by us and our friends at soccerlord.se. Thank you to those guys for helping us out with this one as well. They've been amazing, really good for us to work with and team up with, and hopefully we'll do a lot more stuff with them moving forward. Are you happy, or were you happy with Gomez? Said Dirty Girl. Yeah, I thought he was very good today. The defence didn't have much to do, but I thought everybody, the back 4 were quality. Yeah, really happy with them. Really happy with Joe Gomez as well. I thought anything he had to do, we did well. To be fair, both of them kept Aronovich very quiet, which, you know, tells you how good a performance we had today. We're looking good, Reds. Long may it last, said Darren Calvin. Farrell said, oh my god, I never win anything. Fingers crossed for a new lease of life. Yeah, so whoever does win, guys, I wish everybody good luck. As I said, we have an app that's picking the winners for us, so we're not just grabbing random names. Like, we're doing this properly to make sure we're as fair as we can be. But we will be announcing those winners soon, and of course we will touch base with every single one of them to make sure we get the right people, and 2, that we get the shirts, the correct sizes and everything for them. El Chapo said, a Liverpool shirt for everybody in the chat. Yeah, this isn't a late show. There isn't one for everybody in the audience, unfortunately. 10s for everybody, said Kill for Hire. Maverick said, in my humble opinion, Mane just about got man of the match overall. For the first half, it's a split between Milner and Gini. Yeah, the entire midfield, I think it's about the 10th time I've said it today, but the entire midfield were awesome today. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Jimmy Milner in particular, I think, just because of the head injury and all, I thought the creativity he showed was tremendous. I wonder what Keita eats. His energy is incredible, said Dirty Girl. Well, he's going to be eating other Premier League midfielders this season, that's for sure, my friend. He was the whole midfield. There's very, as Maverick said earlier on, I was being not critical, but I was, give my honest view on Firmino, and I thought that he wasn't his usual self. But that is being hypercritical, because there was very little negative about anything Liverpool did today. It was nothing but positives all around. Tremendous display, 4 goals, clean sheet for Alisson on his debut, 3 points, top of the league. We couldn't ask for anything more. Don't have Twitter, so what the fuck, says Rod. You don't need Twitter to enter, Rod, so don't worry about that. You could have entered by just going into the stream link and entering via your YouTube channel on Gleam, which I think was the site that we used for the competition. When we can't agree on a man of the match, it just shows how good we were today, says Mick. Wrigley Mick, you're spot on, Mick. It's a good show. And it's great that we're having a conversation that there were so many contenders for man of the match. City certainly looking on top, by the way, in this game against Arsenal. They're dominating possession. Had a couple of half chances already. One 0. Raheem Sterling. I told you guys. Raheem Sterling's knocked one to the net at the start of the stream. I told you I stuck 50 quid on Raheem Sterling to score. I hope somebody else listened. I hope somebody backed it. He scored already. 1-0 to Manchester City. Edge of the box. Great strike from Raheem Sterling. Yeah, so there you go. 1-0 to Manchester City, guys. It's not the result we're hoping for, but 1-0. Good strike from Sterling, to be fair. Just looking at the replay, so bear with me. Yeah, it was a clean strike, not much Czech could do about it. Arsenal need to really up their levels if they're going to compete with Manchester City in this game, because it's been all City so far. Arsenal still shite, said Junior. They haven't looked great, to be fair, and I've said all summer I don't think the business that they've done is great. It's too early to judge them. Of course it is. Unai Emery is just in the door. I'm not going to slag them off just for the sake of it. They're not our club. Fuck them. You know how I think about that one. But yeah, I hope they can get back into this game. Obviously, from a Liverpool perspective, wanting to. Cool. Connor is ready to come on now, guys. Should be Connor. Whenever you want to jump on there, buddy, your mic and all is set up, ready for you to go. So Connor will be joining us, guys. Hello. And he'll be announcing the 5 winners. Connor, I just won more money, mate. That's the good news.
More again, yeah.
I stuck 50 on Sterling to score in the Man City game, and he just scored 1-0 to City.
Fuck's sake.
13-8 as well for that one. I may roll the dice. I may roll. I've won about 400 quid so far today, to be fair. I may roll the dice on Aguero as well here. I might stick some of that winnings on Aguero to score. But anyway, I believe you have some news for us. We'll get to the game in a second, Connor, but everybody wants to know who won the fucking shirts. 5 Liverpool home shirts. So firstly, thank you to everybody that entered. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. It's been an amazing start for us. We're going to keep doing these giveaways as time goes on. We're going to try to give more and more back to you guys. But Connor, mate, I'll hand over to you. Who won the shirts? Who are the lucky people?
Right, so 5 winners, obviously. 3 off Gleam, 2 off Twitter. I go through Gleam first, and the winners are Noah Gokdag. I absolutely butchered that name. They're from Germany. Alan Hughes from the UK and Harry Priestley from the UK. So congrats to them 3. We'll be in contact soon. Probably email.
We will put them in the chat as well in a second, so bear with us on that one.
Yeah. On Twitter then, it was at CoolJRathods. Not sure how to pronounce that. Again from England. And at Amy Lawrence 301, also from England, I think.
So there you go. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats to everyone who's won.
Congratulations to everyone that's won one of those shirts. As Connor said, we will be in touch to get everybody's address, get their sizes, and all the necessary bits and pieces. Connor, if you can, buddy, can you put those names into the chat just so people can see? Because as you said, we always fucking butcher names when we're pronouncing them.
Yeah, I'll stick them in there now.
Cool, so Connor is adding those names in. Congratulations to everybody that did take part and that won. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet on the channel, guys, please do so. We'll get straight back to the Liverpool game and the reaction very soon. We just wanted to, do what we say. We promised we'd give away the 5 shirts after the West Ham game. We are as good as our word. This is a family channel, as I said. We are a group together. We want to give back to you guys that have helped us along the way, and we're going to keep doing it. So if you didn't win a shirt today, stick with us. We're going to be doing plenty more giveaways as the season goes on. We're hoping that we're going to be able to keep working with our friends at Soccer Lord to bring you guys some more giveaways, to give away some more shirts and keep giving back, because this is a family channel. I keep saying it. We are in this together, guys. So if you didn't win a shirt today, don't worry. I promise you there'll be plenty more opportunities as the season goes on. Think of us like a bald, eggy Santa.
Good way of putting it.
It's a good way of putting it, yeah. And we can think of you, obviously, as a masturbating Santa.
It's a bit nonsense. Fair.
But it is great just to see so much money in my betting accounts, I have to say. Makes me very happy. Definitely be a Domino's for dinner.
On City to win, both teams to score.
It's a good bet, to be fair. Yeah, there's definitely a Domino's coming for Craig's dinner today, folks. As Connor said, he's just putting those names into the chat, and then we'll get straight back to the Liverpool game, guys. There's still so much I want to talk about. I want to get Connor's views, of course, as well. I want to see how he thought the midfield did. I want to see who his man of the match was. I want to talk a little bit of clean sheet for Alisson on his first his debut at Anfield in a Premier League game. Everything Klopp could have hoped for today, guys, happened. You couldn't have asked for any better. I predicted 4-0 as well, Connor, by the way.
Yeah, I said 4-1. I think I'm still in the mindset that we don't have a good keeper. I keep forgetting.
It'll take us a while to get out of that, to be fair. I understand where you're coming from, buddy.
There's so many just like 4-1, 5-1, 6-1. It's always just a one goal at the end or some stupid mistake made. But I think we could be seeing the end of that now. Hopefully, anyway.
Cool. So once again, congratulations to everybody who did win one of those shirts. We'll be in contact. We'll get your details, get you sorted out, get your postal address, all that stuff. Connor, getting back to the game, buddy. Again, firstly, I'll ask you for your man of the match.
It's tricky, isn't it? There was a few good players. Say it has to be Keita, though, isn't it? He was just absolutely outstanding. He was just everywhere on the pitch, and he was just so solid defensively and obviously going forward as well. So up the first goal pretty much, and no matter where you looked, he was just there nabbing the ball back, starting attacks, transitioning from defence to attack. He was just absolutely amazing today. I think there's lots more of that to come, and he's only going to get better, which is scary, really.
And Sturridge, mate. Sturridge comes on the field, fucking 15-20 seconds, corner, bang, goal, easy as you like.
Just sums him up, doesn't it? When he's in good form like this, he just scores absolutely everything, and it's just proven there. He just strolls out onto the pitch, ball comes in, ball falls to him, sticks it in the back of the net. Just vintage Johnny the Surge. It's great to see him in back. But I just hope he stays fit.
Yeah, it is great to see him back. And the options that we had today off the bench were something that people kept mentioning to me in the chat. You look at that bench, you're seeing Hendo, you're seeing Shaqiri, Lallana, Fabinho on there as well, Klein, Karius. Oh my Jesus!
Surge.
Sorry. Fucking hell. Petr Cech nearly passed the ball into his own net. Oh my God.
What is that?
Mate, watch it. You see it on Match of the Day or something or later on. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous what he tried to do there. Oh my God. Inches away from just passing the ball to his own net. Absolute madness.
I
don't know. They obviously don't believe in him. Yeah. That is a bit of a fucking kick in the teeth, isn't it?
What is the point now?
Yeah, you've just joined the team.
Like.
You've just joined the team and you're not even getting a fucking game. Definitely 20 million or 25 million well spent there.
It's really hard to know what way Arsenal are going to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
New signings, new manager and everything.
I don't think that their signings are that great. I've said it all summer. I don't think they've improved that much. I can see what Emery's trying to do. He's trying to add a little bit of steel to the Arsenal team and make them a little bit, less easy to bully. Because Arsenal used to have this thing about playing attractive football, and if it didn't work for them, they just kind of rolled over at times and died.
Yeah, signings kind of remind me of kind of people we brought in a few years ago. That kind of level, like.
It is levels, isn't it? I love saying that phrase now, but it is fucking levels.
There is levels to this game, yeah.
Fuck it, I'm looking at the odds here for the goals, but like, Aguero isn't even money. Like, he's odds on still to score here.
Stick
Aguero,
the house on it.
you get 9-4 by the way, folks. If anyone's doing in-play betting here and they want to get bet on Sterling to get a second, you can get him at 9-4, so over 2-1 there on that one. It's all Ozil's fault, says Rod. It's always Ozil's fault. I
Everything's
agree.
Ozil's fault.
Yeah, absolutely. Blame Ozil.
It's fucking shite, isn't it?
Arsenal haven't looked like anything here, but look back to the Reds today. Connor, Alisson Becker, his debut for Liverpool Football Club in a competitive sense today at Anfield. Not really that much for him to do. He had one misplaced pass, but other than that, he looked solid, comfortable, calm, everything that we wanted to see.
Yeah, he wasn't exactly tested, was he? But yeah, just everything he had to do, he did right, and his passing again was just brilliant, and that's pretty much it, really, isn't it? Like, he didn't really have too many saves to make. It was like one, I remember, that was straight to him, and he just caught it, and was no trouble. So I'd say give him a few more weeks, see how he gets on when he's actually tested. But yeah, all good signs so far.
It looks all Arsenal in this game, by the way, guys. So looking ahead, Connor, people often ask about midfield and who's your midfield three. That's a question I must have been asked, so many times over the summer in here. But every time James Milner takes the field, I never include him in my three when I'm talking about a midfield. But he has not put a foot wrong in the last 9 months.
Yeah, he's not exactly the first midfielder you think of, but like, he's done absolutely everything right. Like, even last year Champions League top assister, and like you see again this game, he was just completely running the show, really, wasn't he? Like, but he's such I don't even know what way to describe it. Like, he's not really a flair player, he's just absolutely solid week in, week out, and he's going to be brilliant in this squad. And I think he might start a lot more games than people might have initially thought.
He's got tremendous forward vision. I mean, the amount of passes he can pick out, he really is excellent in that role. I said it last year, I owe him such an apology because I very, very much underrated him. And another player, Connor, who's been underrated by a lot of people and was very solid today was Gini Wijnaldum.
Yeah, again, he was very good. Again, like Kate has all over the place, closing down really quickly, winning the ball back. He's really grown into the team, hasn't he? Like, in the last, I'd say, 5 or 6 games last season and this season so far in pre-season, he just looked so much better than he was at the start of last season. Whether that's due to a change in role or, I don't know, some claps to him, or he just stepped up a level, I suppose. He's just really good, isn't he? He's just an absolute horse in the middle of the field, like a workhorse, just like everywhere.
He's been tremendous, and the whole midfield was. So when I jump back into the chat, the Revenite said, Craig, you already got some money for Sterling scoring. I did, mate. As I said, had 50 quid in him at 13-8, so nothing wrong with it. Jeannie reminds me of Clarence Seedorf, says Dirty Girl. What else have we got? Afternoon Redman was working. I've seen the result, but guys, could you tell me how the performance was, please? Asked Randy66. Randy, it was everything you could have asked for, mate. Really, really great midfield performance. Sadio Mane got 2, Mo Salah got 1. The fullbacks were excellent. Alisson Becker kept a clean sheet. Everything you could have asked for, everything we predicted and hoped that would happen, mate. So, excellent performance all around. What else have we got? Alisson is such an upgrade, says Lalu. I mean, we can't underestimate how much of an upgrade he is, Connor. I mean, there's an upgrade and there's an upgrade, and dude is like fucking major upgrade.
Yeah, it's like we said about the levels, really, isn't it? He's just a step above what we already had, and he's going to bring us up to that next level, the whole team. Like, even say Joe Gomez there today, like, he hasn't really started at centre back much, but knowing that he has world class centre back in Van Dijk beside him and a world class keeper in Alisson behind him, like, that has to give him confidence going forward.
It does. It really fucking does. And the forwards, Connor. Let's have a little chat about Mo Salah, Sadio Mane and Bobby Firmino. How do you think they got on today?
I thought Bobby was very quiet. I think that's more down to just the fact that he's just gotten back from his break. He's only back like 2 weeks, I think. So he's obviously going to be a bit sluggish and take a while to get back to how sharp he was last season. Not saying he had a bad game exactly, just didn't exactly set the world alight. Mane looks extremely bright, doesn't he? Just, you touched on earlier about him getting the number 10. I really agree with what you said. I think that's really going to push him on. Just that psychological factor. Like, he just looks like he's just raring to go this season. And like 2 goals today was fantastic. And Salah again, just world class, isn't he? Like another goal again today, and he'll probably score 30 or 40 goals again this season again. I thought he didn't have a brilliant game today, but he was very good. I'd say Mane is probably our best forward going today, and I think I actually predicted a few weeks ago that Mane would be our player of the year this season, so I think I could be right on that.
Yeah, they were tremendous. The whole lot of the team, we cannot pick any negatives out today. It was just fucking awesome. We're going to bring this stream to an end in a few minutes, guys. It's going to be an extremely busy day for us here. We did the watch along, and I know a lot of you guys were with us on that one, so thank you so much. We're doing the post-match show here. The guys have recorded the post-match point podcast while we've been doing this. So, of course, I'm going to get that up as soon as possible. We're going to put that on YouTube as well. You're going to get the Cop Council podcast recorded later on tonight. And of course, I'll be back here for a little streamy poo later on this evening. And Cash has just asked me, can she come on the stream tonight as well? So there you go, more content for anybody that subscribes to the Anfield Agenda YouTube channel. This is what you get. You get lots and lots of content, 100% free. Lots of Reds sharing their opinions. We bring on as many contributors as we can. Everything is absolutely free, guys. So please do hit that subscribe button, join the channel, become part of the family on here, give us a thumbs up. It helps us get suggested to other Reds and help us grow and reach our 5k target as soon as we can. Look, it's a big target, it's a long way off. I know together as a group pushing out we can get there. And Connor, 5k has to be the next target. We'll ignore 4. 4 is not a nice number. We'll push straight to 5.
Fuck 5, we're going straight to 10.
10, there you go, balls out. 10's a good number as well. We do like a bit of 10.
1 million is a nice number as well, just saying. I
do like 1 million. I'm quite fond of 1 million, I have to say. It is a nice number in every sense of the word. There's very few negatives to 1 million, unless you're saying like you're riddled with 1 million sexually transmitted diseases. Then it's a negative.
Yeah, it's not great then, is it? Yes, what are we on now? 3.2k or so, 5k, not too far off. Hopefully, just keep pushing on with the channel.
Absolutely, and it will only happen because of you guys. Darren Maguire said I'm subscribing now. Darren, thank you, mate. You're an absolute legend. And to everybody that subscribed today for the first time, thank you. But we can't just say thank you to the new people. We have to say thank you to the amazing subscribers that are here night after night in the comments, sharing our stuff, helping us push the channel out there. It will only grow and be a success because of you guys. What we do is irrelevant. If you guys don't watch it, like it, share it, subscribe, it's not going to grow. So we are growing. Fingers crossed we continue to grow. The Reds today put in a tremendous performance. We get off to the perfect start. Jurgen Klopp surely is over the moon. Everybody inside the stadium today will be going home with a smile on their face, except for the West Ham fans, of course. Anthony Taylor can kiss my fucking ass because he was an absolute clown as per usual. But it's all positive, guys. There's not much negative to report on today. I hope you enjoyed the watch along. I hope you've enjoyed the post-match show with myself and Connor. Thank you so much to you all. Once again, congratulations to the 5 winners of the Liverpool shirts. We will be in contact to sort them out, to get your addresses and all the necessary information. Please do hit that subscribe button, guys. We'll see you tonight. I'll be back around 9:45 with the late night agenda with myself, and Cash will be joining. Thank you to Connor and Chris for coming on this stream and helping us on the post-match show. Thank you to you guys as always, and up the motherfucking Reds.